All right, so let me talk a little bit about how the course is structured. And below the video, I'll have additional information that I would like you to read. In my teaching world, I created these two words to describe. And before you go into our methodology, I first wanted to explain the why and help you understand why we teach things certain way that we do. Now, there is this concept of tutorial-based learning versus concept-based learning. Tutorial-based learning is what you may be very familiar with. It tells you step by step what to do. For example, let's say you want to build an application like Twitter. It will tell you step 1, do this, step 2, do this, step 3, do this, step 4, do this. When you buy books, a lot of books are tutorial-based. It tells you exactly what to do each step of the way. So is that the best way to learn? People love tutorial-based learning, but it is not a very effective way for you to really understand concept because it teaches you step by step. So imagine we have different concepts, which I'm going to illustrate by circles. Tutorial-based is basically connect the dot, right? Do this, and then do this, and then do this, and then do this, and then do this, and do this. So if you go through a tutorial-based course, it gives you the perception that you're learning a lot. But in fact, it's just helping you learn how to type better. Just merely teaches you how to type, which you already know. So you don't need to learn how to type. But tutorial-based really doesn't add so much in helping you internalize concepts. So the way that I've advocated my teachers to do is to follow concept-based learning, not tutorial-based learning. What is a concept-based learning? This is how it works. Here's a concept, here's a concept. Now, do an assignment. We don't tell you how to do the assignment. You have to connect the dots. So imagine I taught you 2 concepts and you had to do an assignment. I then teach you another 2 concepts and then I have you do an assignment. And it's up to you. You have to figure out how to connect the dots. Once you learn how to connect 4 dots, imagine I introduce another concept. Now you have to connect these 2 dots. Another concept, now you have to connect these 5 dots and so forth. That's what I call a concept-based learning. That's very, very effective, and it also builds confidence. In the beginning, you may be able to connect maybe 2 dots only, but over time, as you learn additional concepts, you learn how to connect any dots the way that you need to create anything you can think of. And this is how you can become a self-sufficient developer. So our methodology, again, is I'm going to teach you some concepts. And I'm going to try to teach that in as short amount of time as possible. Usually, I'm going to try to do that in under 20 minutes and have you go right into assignments. Because I feel that if you watch too much video, it just goes right out of your brain. So anyway, with concept-based learning, I'm going to introduce concepts and you will have to figure out how to connect the dots to do the assignments. But this is one of the most effective way to learn. Although in the beginning, you may not be used to it. You may be used to a tutorial base, watching long hours of demos, watching hours and hours of videos. But again, I tell you, that's not the most effective way to learn. Okay? Now, with the concept-based learning, what I'm going to try to do with this course is I'm going to try to teach you 95 to 99% of everything you need to know to do the assignments. But intentionally sometimes, I don't teach maybe 1 or 2 small concepts because I expect you to learn some of those things on your own. So again, if I have every single concept laid out to do every single assignment, it almost makes you too reliant on our courses. And if that's the case, I'm not preparing you for the real world, because in the real world, you're expected to find your own answers by doing Google searches using Stack Overflow. So of course, I don't want you to spend 100% of the time doing Google searches and Stack Overflow. Maybe I want you to spend up to 1% of your time or 5% of the time on those resources compared to our courses. But anyway, that's intentional in a lot of our courses to help you practice how to search for your own answers. Okay? So anyway, go in and after you watch this video, go in and do a quick read on the text below, because sometimes I add additional information of what I think is important in the text below. Okay? All right. But anyway, welcome again. Yeah, and then after you do this, just click on the next button and proceed with the next portion.